Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about how people that are struggling with their gender identity, as they like to call it, people that have got gender dysphoria, as we traditionally used to call it, how they are turned into effectively wallets that Big Pharma milks. So being transgender is a privilege that a lot of people can't afford. So I just thought I'd quickly go through some of the numbers with you. So comprised of several surgical procedures that you can get individually or as a package. The average procedure typically range from 1,500 to 26,000. Right? So that's $26,000. That's a lot of money. Like, it's like £13,000, 15,000 pounds. But the total could be as high as $200,000 to $300,000. How the hell does a 17-year-old, because let's be honest here, the majority of the people who are suffering with this and suffering the greatest and see this as an option are normally like between what, let's say 10 and 25. That seems to be where the bulk of them lay. Where are they getting 200 to 300 grand from? In doing the research for this, because the reason I've landed on this page is because I've looked at a lot of them, and these figures seem to be like middle of the ballpark. Some of them claim really high, some of them claim really low. But one of the websites I was looking at was encouraging you to get a bank loan, encouraging you to crowdfund, and encouraging you to get 3 or 4 credit cards and max them all out. But make sure you let the credit card company know that you're paying for surgery. So some credit card companies will let you put 50 grand on surgery, and then you're paying that off with like 17% interest. You're doing this at 18. You're being turned into a permanent patient, right? You've got something wrong with you in your brain, right? You acknowledge that. You say that your brain doesn't match the physical body you're in. So instead of trying to lean into the body that you've got, you're leaning into the delusion that you've got, okay? So now you've got a straight choice. You could take just hormones and try and make yourself more of your body. So if you're willing to amputate and mutilate yourself and remove parts of yourself and try and go heavily with how you think and how you feel, why don't you try? So if you're a man that thinks he's female, right? If you're a male that believes he's female, why not try testosterone replacement first? Why not try the $300 to $2,500 dollar option? Why not try the cheapest option first? Why go straight for the flagship item? Why go for the highest costing thing? So we'll keep going down. Replacing the core reproductive organs completes the entire sexual reassignment surgery, if that's what you believe assigns your sex to you. But it can be between 20 and 50 grand for male to female, and then from female to male it can be 25 to 30 grand, 35 grand depending. So you're paying, like, on average you're paying about $40,000 just for the surgery, right? So that's like, you could get a degree. Do you know what I mean? That's like student loan amounts of debt. That's a lot of debt that you're going to be carrying for like 20 or 30 years. So, well, unless you do really well, you're going to be carrying it for that long. And then this is what they actually do. These are the names of the surgeries. So the penectonectomy, the orchidectomy, the vaginoplasty, the feminizing genitoplasty, and that tells you what they actually do and stuff. So this is just a rundown of the actual medical procedures. So this doesn't even include optional procedures, this price that we've covered. This is just for your genitals. So if you decide that you want your breasts removed and your labia to become a penis, or if you want your penis to be removed and your scrotum inverted to become a vagina. So if you want just your sexual organs, primary and secondary, so it'll be breasts and gonads, that's going to cost you this around here, yeah? But then there's lots of optional procedures, and each of these cost money, so you're going to spend a lot of money doing this. So for example, if you are a female, if you are a male and you were a male and you look really male, so you don't have a feminine face, you've got a really strong jawline, massive Adam's apple, crazy bone structure. Do you know, like big forehead? I've got a big Neanderthal forehead. I've got a big man head. My friend Craig mocks me for having a big forehead. It's not a forehead, it's a five head. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you're born with all these really dominant features, you're going to pay more because you're going to need to have your Adam's apple reduced, and they're going to have to bring it down and in to make it more feminine. You're going to have your jaw smashed and realigned. You're going to have your cheekbones smashed and realigned. You're going to have your eyebrow ridge smashed and realigned. You're going to have facelifts, nose jobs. You're going to pay a lot of stuff, and that, like, look there, forehead contouring, hairline advancement, jaw reduction, lip augmentation, nose job. Like, so if the more masculine you present before you go in, the more you're going to pay in the end. Do you know what I'm saying? And then on the other hand, you've got the facial masculinization, which is if you were looking really feminine, so you didn't have a jawline, tiny nose, really small forehead, then you'd get your Adam's apple made, you'd get your cheeks augmented, you'd get your chin done, your forehead would be lengthened, your jaw would be reshaped, your nose would get done, and you get top surgery. So the top surgery isn't even included in that. So if you pay $20,000 to $50,000 for surgery, you come out with a penis, but you've still got your breasts. So then you have to pay another couple of $1,000s on top for that. So the prices are stacking up here if you think about it. And then, yeah, you need to get, like, you'll have to have modifications. So you need to get liposuction because men and women put fat in different places naturally. So even when you take hormone replacement therapy, so if I was to end up on estrogen now, I would develop fat tissue in different places than I would traditionally as a man because we put it in different spots. Like women get it on the hips, men get it on the tits. It's weird. It's weird. We get big guts as well. Men get big beer bellies, a dad bod. Yeah, and then our butt as well. Men have got bigger butts than women. They just do because it's a muscle, and men have traditionally got bigger muscles. So a woman might need to have her like a bum done to make it look bigger, so that she looks more manly. Do you see? So if I wanted to become a woman now, I'd have to have my buttocks reduced. And if a woman wanted to become a man now, she would have to have her buttocks augmented. She'd have to have like a bum lift to make it look bigger, so that it was in proportion with her upper torso. And like it's crazy. It's just going up and up and up and up and up. And then you've got your prerequisite investment. So you can't just walk in. I couldn't just walk in now and say, hello, my name's Daisy. Like, I know a lot of people like to say that, oh, it's rampant. You can't. There's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through. But if somebody's convinced of something enough, they will jump through hoops. Look at what men do to get laid. Men will do crazy things to get laid. We will jump through hoops. So if somebody believes that they truly want something, they will jump through enough hoops. They will do it. So you need to get a psychological diagnosis of gender dysphoria. So if anybody ever says, oh, you can't use gender dysphoria anymore, it's literally a prerequisite to the surgery. So they have to have had it in order to have gone under the knife. So it's not transphobic to say that. That's a good point that you need to remember, right? And then you need to live as that sex, like the lifestyle of that sex, for more than 1 year. You need to have sustained hormone treatment, which is estrogen or steroids, depending on which way you're going, for 2 years or more. So you're paying for HRT for 2 years before you go under the knife. HRT's like $500. A good average is like $500 for HRT, and like that's if you're getting generic, like off the shelf stuff. If you're getting like private treatment, you can be paying $4,000 for it. So this is what I'm saying. Like being transgender it's a privilege. Like only like 15% of people in the world could even afford to pay for the surgeries. Everybody else would have to get into debt to do it. It's crazy, and this is what it is. This is what it is. If they get you while you're young and you're delusional, they're not bothered. You think your surgeon cares about you. You think your surgeon sleeps at night thinking, oh, I made that person sleep better. No, they got paid $40,000 for slicing you up. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family, about your feelings, or anything like that. They care about getting paid. That's all they care about. Like a dentist wants your teeth to fall out. A funeral director wants you to die. Think about it. Emotional stability in the midst of gender confusion, medically healthy and clear of any chronic conditions. So that you can't be unwell, you have to be fit and healthy. So you have to be fit and healthy to have this operation. Strange that, isn't it? You'd normally be ill or have a problem to get an operation, wouldn't you? If you think about it, operations are normally like restorative. There'd be something wrong with you. But in this instance, you have to be medically healthy. So something to think about, food for thought. And then you need special recommendation from 2 mental health specialists experienced with gender issues. So you need to have gender dysphoria, guaranteed, live like the opposite gender for a year, be on the treatment for 2 years, and then not end up killing yourself and be medically healthy before you can even jump through all the You have to jump through all those hoops to get the surgery. So it's not as easy as people think it is. But there's a lot of debt behind it. That's the thing. Like, people are obfuscating the real problem. People are saying, oh, it shouldn't be happening in the first place. Like, ask why it's happening. Who profits from this? That's like, everything in the world now is driven by money. It's literally everything. Like, the reason I'm doing this now is it's a little side hustle so I can get a little bit of money on the side. That's literally what it's for. Do you know what I mean? Like, it drives everything. There, look. Hormonal treatment, $25 to $200 a month, or $300 to $2.5 a year. And you're going to be on hormones for life. You're going to be on hormones for life. If you go in as a woman and you transition to a man and you come out with that surgery, you're going to be on a super, super high dose of testosterone after the surgery for at least 2 years. You're going to be on a really high dose so that your body can actually go through all the changes, because it takes a while for it to happen. And then after those 2 years, you might be able to drop your dose down, but you're still going to be on like a moderate dose for 15 years, at least. Otherwise, your body's going to start to revert back, right? And then there's some changes that you'll never get rid of. If you transition at the age of 18 and you stop your hormone replacement at 33, you're going to go through the menopause at 33, and you're going to start to get hot flushes, and you're going to start to get like all the uncomfort and the problems that come with the menopause, because you haven't got enough testosterone to counter it. And so you're on it for the rest of your life. So that means that you're going to pay $50,000 to $60,000 for the surgery. Well, sorry, not 50 to 60. That's me in quoting the thing. What was it? Yeah, so between 50 and 20. So between 20 and 50, you're going to be paid between $20,000 and $50,000 for the surgery. Before you can pay for the surgery, you're going to have spent what? $10,000, $5,000, like that area, because you're going to have to do the prerequisite stuff. So you need to be on hormone replacement therapy for 2 years. So you're paying $600. So that's $600 just for that. Yeah. Then you need to pay for the private like doctor and go and see the psychologist and stuff. That's never going to be free. They're always expensive. So you're going to pay 5 or 6. Between like $3 and $4 grand before you have the operation. Then you're going to pay between 20 and 50 grand for the operation, and then you're going to be paying between 300 and 2,400 per year for the rest of your life. So if you transition and you're paying $300 a year, that means that you're paying 6 grand in 20 years just to keep your hormones where they should be. You're a permanent patient. Every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. Think about it that way. What business do you know that exists that doesn't want customers to come back? Think about it. Every patient cured is a customer lost. If you could go to them and they could give you a tablet, and all of your gender dysphoria and these transgender fantasies that you have, all of that would go away if they could give you that pill, and that pill cost $1, or they could get you to do all this surgery. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to sell you the pill for the $1 and you never come back? Think about it. You're being exploited. This is my problem with it, because these people need our help and we're not fucking helping them. We've thrown them into this machine. We've thrown them into this big pharma machine that cooks them up and spits them out and then ruins them for the rest of their life, and they're in debt now. So you've got credit card debt, and then you're paying for hormones every month. It's madness. And then there's hair removal. So, like, you have to get a lot of hair removal done if you transition. Like, I am a hairy bastard, and even if I had estrogen, it wouldn't stop it that much. It really wouldn't. And then, like, hair growth is the other way around, so it's not really going to cost you that much. That's just like that's like the 5% argument. I can't imagine many people would need hair removal, so that's like off the bell curve so far that you can't even really use that. It doesn't make sense. And then you've got all your legal stuff that you need to do. So you need to get your new birth certificate and all that. So all in all, it's going to cost you, I'm going to say $30,000 is a rough stab. So that's what it's going to cost you. It's going to cost somebody $30,000 to transition, right? And then you're going to be in debt, and you're going to be paying for a subscription of hormones. You've basically now got like the Netflix of hormones. That's what you're doing, and you're paying for this, and you'll have to go and get it done. You'll either be getting injections or you'll be taking it orally, and you're a permanent patient. So I wholeheartedly believe that you're going from a bad position to a worse one, because you're going from a place where you're mentally distressed, right? And the suicide rate's around 40%. I admit it's not a nice place to be. I do sympathise with you. I do. It's not nice. It can't be nice to be there. But the suicidality is around 40%, right? You can get yourself into this huge debt trap and mutilate yourself and be 50 grand in the hole, all in all, 35 grand in the hole, all in all, and the suicidality doesn't change, your life won't get better. They're feeding you a lie, right? No, I'll tell you what, it's worse than them feeding you a lie. They're selling you a lie. You're being sold it. You're paying for it, right? The reason I made this video is because I want people to see that I don't hate these people, and you shouldn't hate them either. You shouldn't. They are in such a shit spot right now. And if you're mentally well, you sort of owe it to them to try and help them, because they don't have a fucking clue what's happening, and they're being sold this lie. And it's awful. If people want to do this, people can do this. But it's clear what it's about. The motivations to me are clear. They don't care about your well-being. They don't care about society. They care about profits, margins, and shareholders. Stay strong, learn daily. Peace.